Start off, I'm definitely working safe. It's supporting it. But what makes up this Ripper? It's all pretty much recycled stuff. This was a 12-inch bucket that the bottom had been worn out from. So it was a trash bucket, worn slam out. So I got it, and as you could tell, you know, the bucket would go like this, and then the teeth would be here. So I just grabbed the torch and cut it. And again, it's not pretty, but I mean, I could go back with a grinder and make it pretty, but for what it does for a living, it's fine. I'm not really worried about it. But so that's the main part of this assembly, is this 12-inch bucket. Then what I did was, this is built out of a cutting edge. So I got the cutting edge, cut it in half, stuck them together, and I glued them together here and up there, and you can see it right there. And I didn't grind it down, I just left it there. So this is a cutting edge, two cutting edges put together, and then I welded this, and then all these random welds is just like a wear pad to keep it from wearing the blade prematurely. Then what you do is you grab a shank, and I cut it out. Like, I measured it, grabbed the soapstone, and I cut it out, and then I put it in here, and I set here, and it was a lot of welding, but I ended up filling this all in, and then I put a rock tooth on the front, so it would have, like, you know, a dedicated point. And just for extra stability, I had a piece of scrap angle iron just laying around, and I welded it in here. But the key to this thing working and not tearing off is, one, the penetration. So it's welded on both sides of this shank, and then I cut the bucket so this thing could sit in the bucket. So it's not only welded here and here, but it's also welded on the back side. So throw away, throw away, throw away. And this is the only thing I had to get, was the shank and a tooth. So pretty cheap Ripper, and it works really good. As y'all can tell, it's rusty. I used it. I brought it home. I was gonna make a video for y'all, but I was like, I gotta try this thing out so I can know it works, because there's no point making a video and it failing and then I look like an idiot. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna switch over these buckets, because I've been using this bucket all pretty much most of the day. I had to, I'm taking down this old corral here, piling up the wood to go to the recycling. And then this is like all old hay bales. Like, you can see the ground level here, it dips down, then it raises up, and that's just like literally all old hay and dirt. So I'm trying to clean all this area up, and that'll be like good topsoil. And then there's some more piles over there, but slowly taking care of this and dealing with it. But that's not what this video is about. It's about this Single Shank Ripper. I want to keep calling it a subsoiler. A Single Shank Ripper. And this thing actually works phenomenal. So let's get them switched out and start using it. The only thing I will say is, if I could redo this again, I wish my thumb could get a little bit closer. So my thumb can get like right here. Like, so if it's big, I can pick it up. But if I could do it again, I would leave more of the bucket so I can curl the bar a little bit more up, so I can grab things like roots, balls, or whatever when you pull stuff out. But that's if I build another one. This thing should last me a tremendously long time. I am not worried about it. Only thing that should ever really wear out is this one tooth. And if this thing eventually wears through, then I'll buy Tag's brand version of it, but the homemade one looks pretty good. Alright, so this is where we're going to be starting. I just do this and I just keep driving backwards. My blade's behind me, so I just got to, you know, track forward, and I can just keep plowing. Now, if the ground's soft, you can just stick it in the ground and then have the machine just back up. It's not that bad. But because I'm right here next to this big pine tree right here, right there, I won't be able to do that. So I have it on about 3/4 throttle. I don't have this thing maxed out because it's just cutting, you know, you're not doing a lot. You're just sitting there, you know, cutting. So I'll show you where that, so if I can go, so that's the distance. So here, I'll get you a little bit closer. See that, I can't get the thumb any closer to the bucket like that. So I wish I could, if I could do it again, I have it more closer to it. So if it's like a big tree in the way, it's easy, but anything small, you kind of just have to push out of the way. Nothing too crazy. But yeah, it's not too bad. So all I do is just put it in the ground, and like I already caught a root, so you can just sit there, feel it cutting the roots. So if it starts acting like it don't want to cut, I'll go back in and I'll just take small cuts at it every time. But you can see it's already trying to pull out root systems. Put it in and just go through. So sometimes, again, like it's not a giant tractor. It can't just sit there and plow its way through it. It's not made for that. So I just try to baby it, really. I mean, it's not really babying it, but just take your time. And you just go through there, and if you get a root that's like right now I'm being picked up, so you just got to kind of tear the root systems. Nothing too crazy. And then I'll just go and I'll do another scoop. So like it's picking me up, and I just go back, take a little bite, and then I'll go in deeper the second time, and then I'll just kind of curl it. So like I'm being picked up, and nothing too crazy. And then what I'll do in the end is, right when I get done with this whole road or cutting section, I'll just put my blade down on float and I'll just back drag the whole thing, so it kind of just pushes everything back in the hole. But I'm pretty much just cutting the root balls out, so that way it doesn't kill the hayfield as bad. I know they go a lot deeper than this, but this gets a lot of the surface ones, and that's the key. And if you're lucky, you can pull out a whole root. But yeah, I mean, it's crazy how strong an excavator, you know, when working on them and then actually using them, it's all two different things, because you actually see how strong these things are. I can't recommend enough. If you want to get one just for personal use, an 8K or a 4,000 pound, sorry, a 4-ton machine is the way to go, because you still have all the strength and the power and the pump size of a 10-tonner, but you have the ability of like a 6,000 pound machine. But yeah, it's pretty simple going, and I just backtrack and stuff, and I just keep cutting. So now we're getting out of the trees a little bit for a second, so the ground's a lot easier to cut, so you can kind of just go a little bit more. I try to be as straight as possible, but it's not too crucial, because you're just gonna back drag it anyway. I take myself off a rabbit mode. I don't need to go fast. I just go in there and come on, old girl. But yeah, it's definitely a pretty nice setup, because one of these news costs like $1,300 from Tag, and that's a lot of money. But yeah, there we go. Yeah, pull out the whole root just like that. See, this is where it would be nice if the thumb and the point grabbed a little bit, because then I can just pull that whole root system out. You know, sometimes you get lucky and it'll kind of tear out, but you know, I can't grab it. I just gotta kind of move out of the way. But I don't really have to worry about things in the ground here. It's a middle of a hay farm, so there's nothing in the ground out here. far, so I'm pretty safe. But yeah, let's get y'all a different point of view and have some real fun with it. This is what it looks like when we're done. not the straightest, but I have to reposition. But some of that's roots. Some of that right there is like a root ball or whatever, but it's straight-ish. I'm just trying to be quick about it. If I really wanted to be easy and whatever, it'd be fine. But this is what it looks like. So without the rust on it, you can definitely see the welding, and then you can see the shank really good here. So I had to cut it out like this, stuck the shank in, and then I had to sit there and just weld. I mean, they're pretty decent welds, but that's where they were glued together. You see it definitely a lot better once the rust is all off of it. But yeah, just a simple rock tooth, nice and smooth now. But yeah, she does a good job. Walk over here and show you, but yeah, I mean, you can't really see, but you know, you can kind of look in there. I mean, let's see, here's a root ball, how deep it goes. So I mean, here's the ground, and I mean that goes in, the ground's probably right there, so good foot deepish, probably a little bit more, maybe a little bit less, but no, it does a good job. So now, because you can see how there's hardly any grass here. See how there's nice grass over there, but there's nothing here. It's because the trees suck the water and kill the grass and the lack of sun and stuff. So to give it a winning chance and then gain some of your field back, you cut the roots out here. And again, you'll have to do this like every couple of years, but you sit there and wherever it's a big patch or whatever, the grass can come back now because the roots aren't stealing all the water and nutrients from the ground again. But no, the machine doesn't mind it, doesn't really hate it. It's not too much for her. Like I said, I just wish the thumb and this were closer. That's the only thing that would change about it. She does have a lot of play in her, so you get to have the joy of listening to that. Plus, it doesn't help that my bushings are all tired and worn out. But that's a future project. But no, it works good. I'm super happy with it. I think what I'll do now is we'll just back drag it, and that'll be it. Super simple video. I don't really want to do this today. I don't really have the time, but I want to at least get a video out for y'all so y'all can see how it works. So I appreciate it. Please like and subscribe because I have a lot more dumb ideas for this excavator and a lot more projects. I mean, look at that. How many people you know have a hitch on their excavator? So yeah, a couple other projects I'm putting on is the nice lights. Got those rigid lights right there. Got some name brand. And got the other one right there. And in the future, I like to build a cage for this thing because I have to understand how I haven't broke one of these glasses yet. Like, I haven't had a limb hit like right there today. And right there. Like, oh, go away, bug. So I want to build I call Takuchi. They're like $2,000 for the bars for this mini. And I'm like, I can buy the stock for like probably what, $200. All I gotta do is mount it into 2 holes there, and there, make your frame, and then just do the bars. They have a 2-piece. I think I might try to do a 1-piece and then bend them here. I'll have to figure that one out, but yeah. We're gonna make it a lot better, a lot nicer, and a lot funner. So